everyone, welcome to another video. This is a video in continuation of time value of money, which I have posted recently on my channel. In this video, we are actually going to look at some examples. Just two questions. One is about a simple future value calculation, and the second one we will play around with some variables there. But the second question is about calculating the present value, as you can see in the question. I will also write here as well that this is about present value. So in Excel, we actually have built-in functions to calculate time value of money. And as you can tell, if you are looking at the formula, if you remember the formula for time value of money, it has certain variables, which includes interest rates and time. So these are the two important variables. Of course, money, the cash flow is also another variable, but the variables that impact cash flow would be time period and interest rate. So using the built-in function, which makes your life very easy, and you will see if you're a finance professional, you would already know this, but if you're not, and if you're curious how these calculations work in Excel, then Excel has a built-in formula. So for question one, let's say, so question one says that due to rising interest rate, Peter decided to make a time deposit of $100,000, right? So at this time, at time zero, let's say time zero, Peter decides to put in $100,000, right? That's the amount of deposit that he wants, and then it will mature in 2 years. So the time period, which is in this case, would be 2 years, or two per se. And the interest rate, which is R, is actually, as per the question, it's 5%, right? So if I want to calculate the future value, for Peter, in understanding how much interest he is going to earn, what would be the worth of $100,000 at 5%, 2 years down the road. So we simply need to press equals to, and we type future value FV, as you can see, and then you can press tab, and it will open up the Excel formula. And as you can see here, it gives you it gives you these variables here. Rate means interest, and you can just simply say it's 5% here. And then N per actually means period, so that's 2. PMT is, this is a detailed topic, so in this case, it's actually 0. The present value today is $100,000 as stated in the question. And then we will just assume that it is at the end of the period rather than beginning of the period, which is ordinary annuity. So we will just say 0, and then bingo, there's this future value. Now you're wondering that why this is negative, right? Even though this person is going to receive this money. So to negate that, you just do minus this, or you can actually do minus here as well. It's a negative because that $100,000 has gone out, right? At this deposit, you don't really have it, but when you receive it, so you will receive as $110,000, 110 to 50, right? So the extra interest from principal, right? That's just so interest earned over 2 years would be $10,250, right? So that's simply future value that you can calculate in Excel, right? So it's basically very simple. Now you can always change these variables. So let's say if I want to do 10%, you see my interest income goes up. Peter's interest income goes up to $21,000, and the future value of $100,000 2 years down the road becomes $121,000. So you can always play with, and the longer I put this, the more accumulation of interest will happen, and that is also the concept of compound interest. So if you start saving early, of course, at current rate, if they pay you certain interest, then you will have a tremendous amount of money at some point in time. All right, so this is about future value. This is about question one. Similarly, if you look at question two, so question two is actually asking you to calculate the present value. So what is the present value of $1,000 received in 2 years if the interest rate changes with, so 12% annual, 12% semi-annual, and 12% daily, right? So 12% annual basically means that you get 12% per annum. 12% semi-annual basically means that you will get interest income two times in a year, which basically means that 6 months each. So right from Jan to June, that would be one part, and then from July to December, that would be another part. So 12 months. And then 12% daily will basically mean that you actually get 12% interest every day, right? So 12% every day. Now, so the interest rate here remains the same, right? So R here remains 12% for option one, which is A, and then N is actually if you just scroll up, it's again 2 years, right? And if I want to calculate the present value, again I will just press present value. So I just say present value here, and then I press PV. Again, press tab to open the formula, right? My interest rate is 12%, so I should change this to 12%, and then my period is 2. PMT is again 0, and I will receive $1,000 down the road, and then again assume that it is at end of the period rather than ordinary annuity, right? So let's put in more columns here. Uh, Money received later, or cash flow, we just call it cash flow, is 1,000, so that we can actually link the cells in here. So we can make this 1,000 and change this to 12% actually. Right, so the present value, so $1,000 that you will receive 2 years down the road, uh, is as worth of 797.19. So it's worth $797 today. So basically what it says that worth of $1,000 is 797 $797 today, or at T0. Right, so this is present value using 12% annual. Right, so similarly, if I have to do present value for different options, A, B, and C, which is this is semi-annual, and then this one is daily. So all I need to do is basically just play with the formula. So I can copy paste the formula here, and then just make sure that the cells that I pick are right. So let's correct these cells in here for this one first. So R should be 12%, and then R should be 2%, and cash flow should be this, right? That is correct. And then similarly, we will correct this here as well. And this is right. And now we will just play with it, play with these variables, right? So this is semi-annual. Semi-annual means that I will receive it 2 times. So basically the interest rates needs to be divided by 2, and the time needs to be multiplied by 2. And this basically would mean now, so worth of $1,000 is basically 792 point, or $792 at T0, right? So why do we divide by 2 and why do we multiply by 2? So interest rate here should be 6% each quarter because it's semi-annual. And it's 2 years, so because you are going to receive interest 2 times a year, which basically means 2 times 2, 4. So you will receive interest for the 4 times if it's semi-annual. If it's annual, then we need to divide this by 12, of course, right? Because there are 12 months, and then this is daily, 2 years. So basically, we need to multiply this by 365, and then just press yes. And this should also be divided by 365. So the worth of $1,000 is basically 786 today, or at T0, right? So basically, because you're receiving interest daily, right? So 12%. So this 12% needs to be divided by 365 days, so that you can calculate the interest rate for each day. And then the time also needs to be multiplied by 365, because there are 365 days in a year, assuming 365 days, and therefore and that's how you will get the time value of money for $1,000 if the interest compounding is daily. So you see, um, That's how you calculate present value and future value in Excel. And of course you can so these numbers are negative, which makes sense because you will have to deposit these amounts to get $1,000 down the road, right? So because you're receiving $1,000 in the future, you would have to deposit this much money today at T0 to get $1,000 at certain interest rates at certain time. And of course you can play with this, right? You can make this 15%, so the number will change. You can make this 5 years, so the number will change, right? So you can there's a clear relationship, right? So the money worth today is smaller compared to money worth in future. This is simply because this because of inflation, right? So money worth today is of course better. So what this is telling you is that $497 would be worth $1,000 in 5 years, and that's simply because of interest rates going up, and that will drive up the inflation as well. But the idea of this video was to tell you how to use these Excel formulas to calculate future value and present value. This was a very simplistic case, of course, very simple examples. As you can tell that I did not discuss about the PMT and the variable here type. The type and the PMT variable requires different examples, and I will talk about that in a different video. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have been watching till end, and if this video was helpful to you, please feel free to share with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And you can also comment down below on the topics that you would like me to make videos on. Thank you very much for watching this video.